Welcome into the eighth inning of Clearing the Bases, where we might fight on certain topics, but at least we leave our roosters at home. I'm Nick from Rounding Third Baseball. How are we doing tonight, fellas?
What's up?
What's up?
All right. First off, we got Jason from Romantic About Baseball. How are we tonight?
Doing well, guys. Good to see you guys again. Doing well.
Awesome. We have Rob from NYMLB Talk. How are you tonight?
Great. Good to be back with you guys.
Down the home stretch here for sure. Lorenzo from Big League Takes. How are we doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great, and with our Clearing the Bases theme, so unlike Jimmy Dugan, I'm ready to play today.
And finally, we got Chris, also from NYMLB Talk. How are you tonight?
Good, Nick. What's going on, guys? The tarp is coming off at Yankee Stadium, so at least we'll have a game tonight, hopefully. So looking forward to that later.
Yeah, we all are. We all love the Yankees.
That's right.
I love them on Saturday and Sunday of this past weekend. I did.
Yeah, cool. All right. Before we get going, this is how it works. I will present a question for each round. Panelists will give their takes, and I award points on the best takes. Multiple panelists can score on the same question. What earns points is strong arguments, unique perspectives, and the conviction of your take. Make me believe it, fellas. Even if I don't, make me believe it. And the scoring carries over from game to game. And we got a barn burner coming down the home stretch with our last episode of Game 1 coming next week. So we have Jason with 2, Rob with 2, Chris with 2, Lorenzo with 1. So let's see if he can tie it up today. All right, here is today's lineup. First base, we got some buy or sell questions. Second base, we have a category named the Boneheads. And third base, we have the Spouses. So, starting with first base, buy or sell, starting at the top with Jason. Kyle Schwarber hit 60-plus home runs this season. He had a streak of 5 games in a row, was on pace for 72. Does Kyle Schwarber hit 60-plus homers? Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm selling, and it's simply really I'm big on statistics, as you guys know. And look, only 10 60-plus home run seasons in over 130 years of baseball, however long you want to categorize Major League Baseball. And only 7 different players have done it during that span. Now, look, Schwarber is the type of player who could do it, but he also walks a lot, which removes some of his opportunities to hit dingers. So I'm going to play the odds here, guys. I'm going to say he doesn't do it, but he's probably going to hit 50, and he is one of the most prolific home run hitters of our era. So not out of the question, but I'm going to sell it. I don't think he makes it there. He's also been dinged up a little bit the last 2 nights or sick. He's missed a couple games. So, yeah, I'm going to sell it. I don't think he quite makes it there.
All right, Rob, buy or sell Kyle Schwarber 60-plus homers?
I'm going to go opposite, and I'm going to buy because, look what he's done when the Phillies were bad for the first month. Now that Mattingly took over and the Phillies have gotten, better and they're winning, now he even has more of a chance to do it. I think he's the type of player that can do it. He's on the pace right now to hit over 60. He actually is on the pace to hit close to 70. So, and the Phillies are going to be in the pennant race, so I just think it'll drive him even more. So I'm gonna be a buyer on that.
All right, Lorenzo, buy or sell Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, I'm with you on the buy. He has 20 home runs already in under 50 games. He's played in 150-plus games in 6 of the last 7 seasons. And what's interesting is that he's doing this on the least amount of fastballs he's ever seen in his career. He's only facing off against 45% fastballs. The league average hitter faces 55%. Last year, Schwarber went 50%. So even with Bryce Harper tearing it up right behind him, teams still don't want to throw him the fastball, but when they do, he's maximizing those opportunities. So it tells me that this guy he's seeing the ball really well. To Rob's point, they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, and that just breeds who Kyle Schwarber is, that culture that he is. This guy, when you think of big home run moments in Philadelphia history in the last couple of years, you see Kyle Schwarber hitting some bombs there. He lifts everything. He has that pull side damage. We know he's going to accept the strikeouts. The walks are going to come, but this guy hunts his pitches, and he's gonna be right on top of it. So I got to buy here. I think he can go 60 plus this year. Make it number 11 in the record book.
All right, Chris, buy or sell Kyle Schwarber 60 plus.
I'm going to go with Jason. I'm going to sell. I don't know if he's going to get 60. Jason brought up a great point. Only 10 batters have done it. Only 7 different batters actually have done it, going over 60. And looking at their schedule, I had to look at their schedule down the stretch, and they're going to be in the pennant race. Their last 2 series, you got Tampa and Milwaukee. They are home at least, so that's going to help them, obviously, hitting in the bank. But even before that, they got the Mets, Washington. All right, that might help them out a little bit. But you also got Atlanta twice in the month of September for the Phillies. So those are going to be big time games right there. That might depend. That might determine the division. So those games are going to be tight. And then there's always that risk of the injury, right? That could possibly happen. A little less with him because he DHs mostly, but I'm just going to sell. I'm not going to buy it here. I'm going to sell mid-50s maybe, but I don't think he'll get 60.
All right. We got some comments in the chat. John Temple says 54 to 58. So that's a sell. Mike Reed says he's buying 60, an outside shot at 65 plus.
Wow.
I love that. That'd be insane.
That, Reed.
5 points apiece to all of you because my number is right on 60. I think he gets 60 flat. He's been at 57, 58, 56 last year. He's been all around that. I think he could get 60. And to all your points, great points. I mean, Jason, just the pure numbers on it, there's, it says no, right? But Lorenzo's saying that they're hitting the off speed, Rob bringing up the pennant race, like they have something to play for, so he's going to be locked in. And Chris, the schedule that you said. So, I'm with all of you there. Great points, 5 points apiece across the board. All right. Another guy that is absolutely hitting the ball out of the ballpark at an alarming rate, which when we heard he was coming over, he kind of Kyle Schwarber light, if you will, right? A lot of swing and miss in his game, but a lot of pop. Munetaka Murakami, 60 plus. We buying or selling, Rob?
I'm going to sell on him. He has to keep this pace going during his first full season in MLB. He's never played in the U.S. He's never played in the U.S. in the summertime when it could get brutal. Especially summers in Chicago. How more brutal can you get than that? Once the pitchers get used to him, things are going to change a little, and the White Sox are not going to be in it. So I'm going to take a sell on this one.
All right. Lorenzo, buy or sell 60 plus Murakami.
Yeah, as him being a threat, I'm absolutely buying it. This guy, if you look at him before ever coming to the MLB, he hit 56 home runs as a 22-year-old, right? You don't do that by accident in any pro league, let alone the league that he came from. That's rare air of power. And the power looks extremely real here in the bigs. Like, this guy does not hit cheap home runs. There was a light tower power every time he hits it. The batted ball profile is dangerous. He's pull side, he's loft. The exit velo is crazy. Slug efficiency is really great. If you actually look at the batted ball profile, who does he match up with? Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Nick Kurtz, Kyle Schwarber. All guys that they could hit 55, 60. It would be in that category of, hey, they're a threat to hit 60 this year. So that's incredible. That's the elite power company that he's already in. And one thing that's really interesting, whenever we get these foreign players coming over, we always say, can they handle a fastball? Yeah, they see breaking balls overseas. Yeah, they have the sticky stuff. But can they handle the fastball in Major League Baseball? He has a 282 average against fastballs this year with a 731 slug. Looks like he's handling fastballs just well. So I do think that he is the next 60 home run threat in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, 60 home runs, 4 doubles out of Murakami. That's what he's on pace for, because that's insane.
Smashing it.
Yeah. Chris, buy or sell Murakami, 60.
Listen, I'm going to sell. I know, that Lorenzo is right. He did hit the 56 when he was 22, but he's never hit over 40 in any other seasons that he's played. So that on top of, you know what? I know he's playing for the White Sox. Yeah, he's playing in a really bad division. So that's going to help him a lot, I think. But I don't know. I think once more teams see him and know how to pitch to him, you know, there's going to be tape on this guy more. They're going to make their adjustments against this guy. He'll definitely clear 30, maybe even 40, but I don't think he's going to get 60. So I'm going to sell on that.
All right. And Jason. Can't hear you.
He's on mute.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm going to give a shout out to two of our commenters here, Chad Edwards and Mike Reed, who I think are touching on my point that I wanted to make, and that is he's still new to a lot of these pitchers, and we've seen a lot of young guys come up, and of course Murakami's a little older than your typical rookie, but they come up, they mash the ball for a while, and then the book gets out on them, right? So Lorenzo talked about hitting the fastball. He's not going to see as many of those as the season goes on. So I say batting profile, schmatting profile. Don't give me that stuff. The book will be out on him. He'll slow down, and he will not. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, my math is not great. I believe if he did hit 60, he would be the youngest player to ever do that. So another statistical anomaly that I'm not. I would sooner bet on the Mets making the postseason, honestly, at this point.
Wow. Little dig. I like that. I like the digs.
Yeah. Well.
So
Sorry, Rob.
love it. All right. 5 points apiece to all of you guys. Again, all great points. For me, I'm with you guys. I think the pace he's on now is going to be hard to keep up in his first major league year. And it's because, like you all said, when the book gets out, they'll figure out how to get this guy out. But for me, the statistical anomaly of one double is still mind-blowing to me. But wild. But all right. Final question of first base. With an ERA of 0.84, only given up 4 earned runs so far this year, Shohei Ohtani is proving a true long-term two-way player is impossible at the MLB level. Lorenzo.
Yeah, I'm selling it just because of the fact that we have Ohtani. We know that it exists, right? So for decades, baseball basically told us that two-way players could never exist. Then Ohtani showed up, became an MVP level caliber hitter, and now a Cy Young caliber pitcher. That alone has changed the sport. And what Ohtani really has changed is the development philosophy. You have teams that are letting prospects hit and pitch a little bit longer, kind of fill that out. Investing in the workload science of, hey, should we switch to a six-man rotation? Should we do a reliever and hitter? They're really trying to figure that out, that flexibility earlier than we've ever done before. And before Ohtani, organizations, like we said, just completely shut down the two-way experiment. Now they're thinking about it. Now they're investing in it. What can we do differently? The next successful two-way player may simply just be a smarter version of what Ohtani currently is. Like I'm thinking it might just be a reliever and a guy that goes out there in the outfield 4 nights out of a week, and then he's a reliever 2 nights out of a week. Just like that's a little bit more maintainable, shorter outings. So I don't think he closed the door. If anything, I think he opened it.
Okay. Chris.
Yeah, I'm selling it. I'm sorry. I think I'm buying. Yeah, I'm buying it. It is impossible. 100%. It's impossible. We haven't seen it beforehand, right? Even Babe Ruth, did it for like a year or two, maybe? I don't even think he did it for that long as a two-way player. And now with Ohtani, he's starting to show, especially not that he's old, but at 31 years old, to be a full-term two-way player. We're seeing it now, right? He's not the offensive weapon that he's been these last couple of years, right? At this age, doing both pitching and hitting full time. And when you look at his pitching before this, the most starts he ever made in a season was 28, and that was in 2022. Other than that, he's made 23. Last year, he made only 7. The year before, he made 14. So it's definitely taken a toll on him. And now that he's 31, I don't think we're going to see much more of this past this year of him being this two-way player. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Hunter Green of the Reds, when he was first drafted, there was talk about making him a two-way player, if I'm not mistaken. And the Reds shot it down pretty quickly and was like, nope, he's going to be a full-time pitcher. we're not even going to go down that road because I think there's too much risk here when you do it. I mean, this guy is just an anomaly. We're never going to see this again. As much as we hear about Ohtani on TV and MLB Network and all that, I think there's a good reason for that because it's a player that we're not going to see ever again. And what he's doing is just amazing. As much as I hate to admit that because, they've won the last 2 World Series, but what he's doing is just unreal. And it's something that it is impossible, even though he's doing it, because I don't think we're ever going to see it ever again.
All right. Jason.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this. I kind of agree with Lorenzo. The fact that he's there and he's kind of doing it. I mean, I know he's not batting 305. I don't know what to expect out of the guy, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be rare. I hesitate to ever call anything impossible except, the Mets winning another World Series. So I just think that term is thrown around too loosely. Like, we don't know what's coming down the pike. And look, a lot more Japanese players are entering the league, and this is probably something that's more prevalent over there. So we don't know. Yes, it's going to be very difficult. And yes, there's obviously look, batters go through slumps too. We're automatically assuming and attributing his batting to the fact that he's pitching. We don't know that. I mean, you can surmise that. You can maybe even make an educated guess at that. We don't know that. Maybe pitchers have adjusted to Shohei. They got sick of watching him launch balls over the fence all the time. So I'm gonna buy it that it's that he's not proving. Maybe I was selling it. I'm like Chris. I'm confused. I think it can still be done. I don't know what the definition of successful at this is. I mean, if a guy that hits 275 and has a 2 ERA, that would be an amazing feat in and of itself. So I think it's not impossible, but obviously it's going to be very difficult.
All right, Rob.
I'm going to sell it because I'm not confused right now about the selling and buying. And I'm going to sell it because he's already done it. So it is possible. It's not impossible because the man has done it and he's still doing it. Look at his ERA this year, 0.82. All right, he's 3-2. His total record as a pitcher is 42-22 with a 2.83 ERA, and he already has 693 strikeouts. And we know all the rest about his hitting, and he's MVP, 2 World Series with the Dodgers. So I'm going to sell because it's possible, and it may happen again. I agree. It's never not going to happen again. I mean, eventually there's going to be someone who comes in the majors and does it again. So yeah, I'm going to sell. I'm going to take a sell on this one.
All right. I am going to give the 5 points to Lorenzo because I am buying this. He is the best we've ever seen. And I think for me, it's how I view a true two-way player. A two-way player for me is pitching and hitting at the same time in the same game, right? Right now, his goal was before the season, Dave Roberts came out and said his goal is to win a Cy Young. If he is so focused on pitching, his hitting is now sliding. Now, for what all you guys have said, like, I get it. He's still a unicorn, right? He's still unbelievable on both sides of the ball. But to me, that's not necessarily a two-way player. And it's taking a toll on him physically. The big years he had offensively, he's recovering from a Tommy John. So he didn't have to focus on pitching. But now that he has to split his time between both, we're seeing it start to struggle. And if this guy can't do it, then there's nobody that can. So I'm personally buying it for those reasons. So, all right. So after the first base questions, we got Jason with 10, Rob with 10, Lorenzo with 15, and Chris with 10. And we are on to the second base questions, which will be the Boneheads. So here is the first one for our second base questions. With the recent Edwin Diaz accusations with the cockfighting, what's the biggest blatant disregard for the rules in MLB history? Starting with Chris.
I'm sorry. What did I write down? This was It's disregard. Did I write? Oh yeah. The simple one is Pete Rose, right? It was so obvious with the gambling that he did it, and then he lied about it. For what 30, 40 years, he could have admitted and could have went on, but for him to bet on baseball, on games that he was managing, was just horrible. And who knows what he did before that, right? It could have been even worse. And to top it all off, gambling is the number one rule that they post in every single locker room, right? Do not gamble on baseball. Like, that's the number one rule. Before steroids, before drugs, before all that stuff, the number one rule is don't gamble on baseball. And what does this guy do? He gambles on baseball, gets caught, lies about it for 30, 40 years when he could have just admitted to it, took the, laid down his sword and said, okay, fine, I got caught, whatever. And then maybe he could have at least enjoyed some time in the Hall of Fame and we could have got over it, but yada, 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 right? But anyway, I thought that was the biggest one.
All right, Jason.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's hard to not go with the Black Sox, and obviously you guys know I've done a whole podcast on it, but it's like the Black Sox were literally trying to throw World Series games in a World Series. I don't know how it gets any worse than that, and they did it for money. To me, if you're talking about blatant cheating, how does it get any worse than trying to intentionally throw the biggest sporting event, especially in 1919, the biggest sporting event in America, and still one of the biggest sporting events that we have now, throwing a World Series game or a series period? To me, it's hard to beat the Black Sox.
Great one. Rob.
I went with the Black Sox also because it was a team effort, right? It was a team effort to throw the World Series. I mean, 5 games. They lost 5 games to 3 because there was 8 games. The Reds won. The one thing though that about the Black Sox that gets me is shoeless Joe Jackson, because I don't know if he was really in on it or if he was just too ignorant to know what was going on, because the guy had a great World Series, right? He batted .375 with a home run and 12 hits. I mean, if you're throwing something, you're going to get 12 hits. So I don't know about shoeless Joe Jackson, but as a full scandal, I think that's the worst because it was a whole team effort.
All right, Lorenzo.
I don't want to beat the dead horse of the Astros, but the Astros sign stealing, that's one. I'm not going to go with them today. I'm going to go with the Braves international free agent scandal a few years back. Just because it was so fascinating at the time. Like, every team in baseball.
Somebody mute Lorenzo. Somebody mute Lorenzo, please. Mute Lorenzo.
Every team in baseball was
the
doing
most
what the Braves
blatant
got caught
cheating
doing.
scandal of all time is the Braves with the. Oh my god.
You got a guy banned from baseball forever for it.
The Black Sox were banned forever. Lorenzo.
But they were found not guilty, by the way. Remember that.
Well,
they were acquitted.
By the court. Yeah, sorry, Lorenzo. Carry on with your nonsense.
MLB new teams were working around the bonus pool. Like, they warned clubs, hey, just don't make it too crazy. Like, we understand what you're doing. And then came John Cobham, a 36-year-old rising GM in baseball. The guy spent 14 years grinding up the ladder. And then his first international free agency, he just goes so crazily wild. MLB says, yeah, that's a problem. We're going to have to put up some big punishments here, because it wasn't subtle anymore, right? They were underpaying international free agents to pay a professional free agent more money so they could divvy out the money a little differently, because you could pay professionals more that weren't included in the pool. And it's so something that nobody really pays attention to international free agents. Like the baseball fans, we don't.
Exactly.
Maybe 2 or 3 guys pan out.
Exactly.
Maybe the casual fan barely tracks it.
You refuted
But it was
your
so
own
crazy what the Braves did that it got a GM banned for life. They were like, hey,
throwing a World Series. Look, if the Dodgers did what Copy did, they would be, oh, the Dodgers, look how smart they are. I mean, My goodness, Lorenzo, I don't
Yeah,
think we
but
can do that.
Copy
podcast.
again. Everybody knew what everybody was doing at that time, but Copy did it so ridiculously it had to get him banned for life.
There's something
And
ridiculous.
there was a really quick turnaround ban for life. Not many got. We still don't know if Clase is being banned for life, and that guy gambled, and he's missed more than a year of baseball. This was such a quick turnaround for them to say, "Yeah, Copy, you're done with baseball."
This was your
He
backup
is now
answer,
since
right? This was your backup
later
answer. You were going to say
reinstated.
Black Sox, and this was your backup answer.
The Astros was my first answer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but that's Copy, Braves, them not trying to hide it.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what to do with that. So no, honestly, for me, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it's Bud Selig for me. Bud Selig, complete disregard for the rules. Yes, steroids weren't against the rules at the time. He knew what was going on. He did nothing about it. He saved baseball. He knew there was going to be backlash, and he just looked the other way. You cannot sit here and tell me that he had no idea what was going on. Now he's celebrated in Cooperstown as saving the game of baseball after the 94 strike for turning the other way. That is blatant disregard for the rules in my eyes. He knew what was going on. He knew that there was going to be massive backlash, and he pretended like he didn't know what was going on. So for me, it's that. That being said,
the players also were involved in that too, right? They were not okay with being tested for the steroids and stuff like that. So listen, he was to blame, but there was a whole thing to blame.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't, but he's celebrated in Cooperstown for that era, and nobody else is the issue where I have it.
I'll play devil's advocate, Nick. That did bring baseball back after the strike.
For sure. I agree. But if you're going to leave out the players that actually saved the game out of the Hall, then he cannot be in.
Bingo.
That's just,
I agree with that.
Exactly. I agree.
I don't think Bud Selig belongs anywhere near the Hall of Fame.
No way.
Yep, I agree.
Right.
So
every MLB commissioner is in the Hall of Fame. Rob Manfred next.
Right. But so that being said, I'm giving 10 points to Jason and Rob. I think the Black Sox really it takes the cake. It's the biggest stage, biggest time. Braves were a close 12th, Lorenzo. But
wow.
But,
not even top 10.
Hey, Nick, I got an announcement to make. We're going to be searching for a new co-host, new panelist next week. So I'm going to put that out there. And by the way, Shohei Ohtani, who you guys, are so down on, he's already homered and struck out 2 tonight, both, by the way. So just want to put that out there.
So See, I thought from what I heard from Dave Roberts that he was done doing both at the same time, but maybe he was just giving him a break. But good for Shohei. Good for Shohei. All right. I'm still not giving the points back for that question. But anyways, 10 points to Jason and Rob for the Black Sox.
We know how this works, Nick. We know how this works.
Yeah.
Yes. We know. We know the plan.
We know 5 points. I want to be the first to congratulate Lorenzo despite that.
We know. And before we move on, I'm really interested to see what happens with this Edwin Diaz thing, because it is a federal crime for cockfighting. He comes out in a newspaper and admits that he did it. He's like, I brought 4 roosters to the last cockfight. And he's like, my family's been doing it for years. And he was in the promotional poster in his Dodgers uniform. I mean, how dumb can you get? Like, that's talking about blatant disregard of everybody, not even just the rules, like your employer.
But it's like legal in Puerto Rico. Is that it?
No,
it's not.
It was until fairly recently. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
Put him in jail over there.
Crazy. All right. Moving on to the second question of second base. What's the biggest bonehead play in MLB history? The moment that made you ask, what are they doing? Starting with Jason.
Lorenzo's answer in the previous. Sorry. No, look, I always try to go with something off the board here in these kind of questions. And if I'd known I was going first, I might have gone differently. But I'm going to go with Babe Ruth, widely considered one of the greatest players of all time, right? Well, he basically cost the Yankees a chance and bless the Yankees' hearts, they don't have enough World Series titles. He cost them a shot in 26. Bottom of the ninth, Yankees trail 3-2. Game 7 of the World Series, one of the greatest players of all time. He gets on base. Bob Musial's up, who was having a good year. He was hitting .315 that year. He was a threat. People don't remember his name because he batted between Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. So you had Musial and Lou Gehrig up after that. And what does Babe Ruth decide to do at 31 years old with bad legs and overweight and the wear and tear of a full season behind him at this point? What does he try to do? He tries to steal second base. What? And not surprisingly, Ruth gets thrown out at second, and those hitters never get a chance to bat and bring him home. And the Yankees lose the World Series in Game 7. Not a lot of Yankee losses back then in the postseason, but Ruth, of all people, was responsible for one of the biggest blunders in World Series history.
A great one. Rob.
Mine is in the year 2000. The Mets are, they're in a pennant race. They're in a postseason race. And Benny Agbayani catches a fly ball, and he thought it was the third out. So what does he do? He throws it to a fan in the stands. Well, it was only the second out. The Giants score 2 on the play. He runs, gets the ball from the fan, but it's too late. The Giants score 2 runs, and the look on the look on Bobby V's face would tell it all because he was pissed about that. Luckily, though, the Mets did win the game 3-2, but that was some bonehead play by Benny Agbayani.
I just have that play just like recording in my head right now and just laughing through the whole thing. I think Larry Walker did that too at one point. But
yeah, he did.
Okay, Lorenzo.
Yeah, I'm going with the guy that you might have like a 30-minute compilation video of his bonehead plays defensively. Manny Ramirez has an entire Hall of Fame reel of bonehead defensive plays by himself. But I want to highlight the cutoff man at Fenway because that's ultimately the crown jewel of Manny Ramirez. What the hell is he doing in the outfield? Johnny Damon's trying to throw a ball in, and all of a sudden you get Manny Ramirez diving in front of him, which Johnny Damon got brought in to dive in the outfield because they said, Manny, don't ever dive. We need your bat in the lineup. So this is the one time that Manny dives is to cut off Johnny Damon. Ridiculous. The second you even see it, you're like, what are you doing? The announcers don't even know what to do, and the camera doesn't know what to follow because they were expecting the ball to go to the shortstop as the cutoff, not Manny in the outfield. And it just makes it so legendary because it was just a physical mistake. It wasn't a physical mistake. It wasn't a tough read. It was chaos. Manny Ramirez is just chaos, and he did a lot of chaos. Right? He went in the Green Monster during live play. He was high-fiving fans while fielding balls. Bizarre. Every route he ever made was bizarre. But at the same time, he was like the greatest right-handed hitter of the early 2000s. So I just thought that he was just the perfect freestyle answer for this one. Just bonehead Manny being Manny.
Absolutely. Chris.
All right. I hate going back to this because it's scarred on my my heart. But 2004 ALCS Game 6, the bloody sock game. A-Rod, right, hits the ground ball up the first base side. I think Bronson Arroyo tries to tag him out. He picked up the ball. He tried to tag him out, and A-Rod tries to swat the ball out of his glove, and he does. I think Jeter scored on the play. They obviously called him back all the way back to first. And obviously, it was so stupid. In the middle of a playoff game, what was it, the 7th, 8th inning? It's a close game. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're like the best player on the team, and you're trying to swat the ball out of the guy's hand. Come on. Ugh,
it was just his running motion, Chris.
Yeah.
It was just my running motion.
Yeah. Right. That's what he was probably saying. He was like, whoa,
I mean,
right?
It was on brand for A-Rod, so I mean, you gotta give him that.
Yeah.
It was on brand,
Yeah.
If he didn't have that 2009 postseason, what
Yeah. Yeah.
that saved his career.
Really
That
good one in the
2009.
comments, too.
For me
Yes.
personally, the
Have
one
that
that I think's the biggest bonehead play for me was that Javi Baez ground ball where he stops and runs back to home plate, and the Pirates start throwing it around, and then he ends up like beating it out at first, and they throw the ball into right field. He ends up at second base, and you're just like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
That whole play, that was a great one for me.
That's a good one. Yeah.
10 points for Lorenzo and A-Rod, the Manny being Manny. There's so many of him. The going back on a fly ball in Baltimore, climbing up the wall, high-fiving the Red Sox fan in the Orioles stands,
Yes.
getting back down, doubling off the guy at first. The cutoff to Johnny Damon, just absolutely hilarious. And then Chris, the A-Rod slap for me did it. So 10 points for Lorenzo and Chris. All right. Heading,
Yankee fans.
That one was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones in the chat there. Marty, Trevor Bauer throwing the baseball over the center field fence. That one was ridiculous.
Jason he's already put the protest in.
Well,
We'll have to send him the paperwork.
When we agreed to do this show, I was not aware it was WWF style. Okay. But it's fine. It's fine.
Well, anything can happen in this last question, Jason. So hang on.
Sure.
I'm sure it
Here we
can.
go.
I'm sure it can.
I'm going to put money on what I think's going to happen.
I have no doubt.
If he doesn't have my girl, then he's not going to win the points. So I hope he picked the same one I did.
Going into the third base question, fellas. We got to get some reins on this here. We got Jason at 20, Rob at 20, Lorenzo at 25, Chris at 20. It's still anybody's game. Anybody's game.
Uh-huh.
And the spouses. We have a special guest for this one, and I'll play the video. Here we
Best
go.
part of the show.
Hey, this is Melissa from He Said, She Said Baseball. Check us out on TikTok. Here's tonight's question. Who is the most successful female athlete who is or has been married to a player in the MLB?
So thank you to Mrs. Romantic About Baseball. You can follow her on the He Said, She Said podcast with somebody on this panel. I can't remember who, but someone here. But check that out. It's really cool what they're doing. But yeah, anyways, so to Rob, who's the best female athlete that was married to an MLB player?
This is the number one answer. It has to be Nancy Lopez, who was married to Ray Knight. I mean, she won 48 LPGA tour events. She won all 3 majors, and she was inducted to the World Golf Hall of Fame in 1987. It has got to be Nancy Lopez.
Okay. Is golf a sport, or is that a leisure activity?
It's a sport.
Okay. All right, Lorenzo.
Yeah, I went with Jenny Finch, married to former Major League pitcher Casey Daigle. Jenny Finch is the softball icon of the 2000s. And for a lot of people my age, probably our first crush because she was on TV. Great. She was beautiful, charismatic, someone who
first?
genuinely knew the baseball game inside and out. But beyond her resume is ridiculous, right? She won the 2001 College World Series, 04 gold medalist, 08 silver medalist, multiple college softball records that still stand today as a pitcher. She completely transcended softball. There were people that never watched the softball game before that knew who Jenny Finch was. And she's such an icon still to this day that her model glove is still the best-selling softball model glove out there. You still find Finch model gloves in the youth sport today, right? In this day, a girl that's 6 years old playing who doesn't know who Jenny Finch is knows that her glove says Finch. That's how much of just an icon she was for the sport. And she's got 3 little kids coming down the way, and Ace, Diesel, Paisley. Watch out for those. Ace and Diesel. If Ace isn't a pitcher, he needs to be. And Diesel, he's going to be dropping tanks on everybody. But she was just the face of softball's biggest era and arguably the greatest. athlete that's married to a baseball player.
All right, Chris.
I'm going to go with Mrs. Noma, Mia Hamm. Just a quick rundown of her, right? She's a 2-time Olympic gold winner, 2-time World Cup champion. She was also named the Female Athlete of the Year 5 straight years, 1994 to 1999. And if you want to go a little bit further into her college career, just check. I had to go look this up, but her college career, she was a 4-time NCAA national champion. She won 92 games. She only lost once and tied twice during her entire career. She led college scoring during the 90, 92, and 93 seasons. She was a 3-time first-team All-American selection. She won the Mac Hermann Trophy in 1992 and 1993, becoming the first 2-time winner in the award's history. She owns the single-season record for points with 97 in 1992. She had 32 goals and 33 assists in 25 games. I guess they give you 2 points for goals. I don't know why, but it's soccer. And up until 2019, she also held the NCAA tournament career points title with 41. I'm not sure if she still does. She is still the tournament's all-time leading goal scorer with 16. She's probably still the greatest female soccer player in American history.
Yep, hard to argue with that. And Jason.
Yeah, so Rob stole mine, but I had a backup plan, and it doesn't matter. I'm going with Misty May Trainer. 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and she looked great in a bathing suit. I'm going to leave it there. That's what we'll go with.
That's like my second favorite sport, by the way. Women's beach volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you guys say you don't watch women's beach volleyball, you're liars. All right?
Oh my God, yeah. Amazing! Love
and
that.
It's for the athleticism. It's the pure athletic love of the game.
Oh, it's amazing how Yeah.
Yeah. It is. Fantastic.
Yeah, especially like right before the serve.
Yes.
Anyways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't know they do the hand signals behind their backs.
We just lost all of our female viewers, so that's
yeah. So one shot.
all
right.
two of them.
Well, that being said, fellas, the scores are in. And there were some fantastic answers out of all of you guys in that last question. I would have gone Mia Hamm for here. I think Mia Hamm's good, but I did have another name written down in my notes before we came on the show, and it was Misty May Trainer.
What?
Winner tonight with Misty May Trainer as the final answer is Jason. So
you did that on purpose to make me feel bad. You did that on purpose to make
I
me
did
feel
not.
bad.
I have Misty May Trainer in my notes. I swear to God.
Well,
So, any
Justice
final
is
words?
third. My final words are, I love you guys. Lorenzo, I love you, but Copy, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Lorenzo, this one was yours to lose, buddy. This one was yours to lose, and you lost it because you said Copy.
I think because you started throwing me underneath the bus.
You threw yourself underneath the bus, man.
All right. Breaking it up. Rob, any final words?
This game tonight was worse than the Black Sox scandal.
Love it. Lorenzo, any final words?
I'm putting it on a protest.
Okay. Fair enough. Send it to my agent.
Fair enough.
Send it to my agent. And Chris, anything to cap off this madhouse?
Yes,
of
I'm
an
filing
episode?
under protest too because I'm sorry, Mia Hamm is the greatest.
Mia Hamm, I had that
athlete
written out of my
so-
answer.
Guys,
I'm sorry.
You can't beat women's beach volleyball, okay? I'm just
That-
saying.
As a sport, I agree, but
Yeah.
Come on, Nancy Lopez. Guys, come on.
That was
she's in
my
the
answer,
Golf
Rob.
Hall of Fame for Christ's sake.
That was my answer, but she doesn't fill out a bathing suit quite as well as Mr.
well,
May does.
You have to pander
might be a
to
good
your
thing.
host,
I don't
Rob.
know.
I wasn't allowed. I
You're
wasn't
right.
alive for Nancy Lopez. Anyways, yes. So I don't really have anything to add. That was a roller coaster of an episode. Thanks for joining us in the comments, everybody. Mike says Nick pulled an audible. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah, I Omaha'd that, so real bad. So anyways, you've been listening to Clearing the Bases. The bases are empty. There's no runners left. I don't know how else to end tonight's show. So I guess we'll just see you for inning number 9 to see who wins game 1 next Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern. Have a great week.